The Key.
Hello, hi everyone, welcome to The Key. Before we start or before we get into today's lesson, I just want to ask you an out of topic question. Did you know the weight of the first computer? If you know the answer, write it in the comment section. I'm going to tell you the answer as the video progresses. So today we're going to talk about overloading by changing data types. So let's write a new program. IOStream and class. Let's choose the name of the class overloading. Public. We've write public as the name of the access modifier. This is because the class is just private by default as compared to a structure. These user data defined type, they differ their access modifiers. Like a class is private by default, then a structure is public by default. So in a class we are going to print public, then int a chain, then we're going to write some arguments. Int a, let's move to int b, int c, then return a plus b plus c. Let me just write double. Let me copy and paste here. Then double is now another data type. An integer is another data type, and a double is another data type. All of these are just primary data types. So return a plus b plus c. After this, I think they're enough. Let's jump into the main class. Int main so overloading, and now we are creating an object for the class overloading. So an object is just an instance of a class, or it's just like a blueprint of the class. So we will be writing an object instead of writing a class. For example, it will be just ov dot calling a function without writing overloading. Then we call a function. We will just write the blueprint of the class, which is the object. So it will be just ov. In this case, our object name is just ov. So let's write cout you start to print an integer followed by a double and stuff. We're going to start out to print an integer. What you need to know about an integer is that an integer is just a keyword that is used to represent a 4-byte memory space. Int, then overloading ov, as I was just saying some few minutes before. Ov dot, as you can see, after writing dot, I have different functions that have popped on the screen, like addition. So Now I'm calling an addition function. Then write 10, 20, and 8. So in an integer, they are just whole numbers. That ranges from negative to positive. They should be just in a range of 4 bytes. Should be not more than that. Let me copy, paste this. So now I'm going to write a double OV dot addition 1, 5, 65, 5, and 3, that is the other thing that you need to know about double. A double does have a decimal. Now let's go and write now float, or last data type float. Then in terms of a float, you need to put a decimal and an F at the end of the digit. So then let me just add a few things here. Return 0. Don't forget to write return 0 in every program that you write. Let me write a comment here. This is overloading by changing data types. These are the data types, if I said before. So it's this is overloading by changing data types. So execute, compile and run. Now write the name of the, if you are using dev, you're going to write the name of the program that you are now executing. So I'm going to write this is poly formalism. I don't know if the spelling is correct or wrong, but I know you know what I'm saying. So as you can see, int, integer, right, then double, then float. Now the concept of overloading is just that we are using different data types to print the same thing. We are using different data types to print the same thing. We should have just used a double in printing all these the arguments.
The key